If you're firing up the grill this weekend, we've got some expert advice to make sure that your meal is a real crowd pleaser. We're making ribs today with Jonathan Kane from Brisket U. Gotta love a name like Brisket U. Good to have you in the kitchen with us today. And you're Brisket U, but you're making ribs today.
We are. We're making ribs today ahead of Memorial Day, one of my favorite grilling weekends, and I love ribs. These are pork ribs that we're cooking today.
All right, pork ribs and baby back ribs here?
These are baby back ribs. They're a little bit different than the spare ribs. They're from up higher on the hog. So the first thing we're gonna do today is get the membrane back off these. There's a membrane on the back side of this. This can be really tricky to pull off. A lot of people will struggle to take this off and they'll try to use a knife or something like that. The easiest way to get this off is actually to use a paper towel from the kitchen. And it's always hard when I do this on TV, but we'll see if we can get it. Let's go for it. Look at that. And it just comes off in
you got it.
one shot. Look at that. There we go. It came off.
Awesome.
Perfect. Once that's off, we're gonna make up a barbecue rub. And this rub's a little different than what we normally use because it's got a little bit of Southeast Asian influence. So over here you can see we've got some cayenne, some paprika, some coriander, black pepper, ginger, which gives it a little bit of that flavor, and some sea salt.
Okay.
This is super easy. All you have to do is add all of these ingredients together into the bowl. We've got this recipe, of course, up on the website for our viewers. Once we have this, we're gonna apply this to the rub. To the ribs rather, and this is where all of our flavor is going to come from. We'll just take a whisk real quick and we'll just kind of stir this up. Yeah, get it all together, just like that. And then we can just use our hands. You know, they call this a rub, but you really don't have to rub it in. It's more just kind of a liberal coating, and you want to do both sides of this, just like that.
Would you do this and then let it sit for a little bit before
I would.
you
I'd
start?
let it sit for about 30 minutes to an hour just to let this flavor kind of work its way in, and we'll get the other side of it there. Now that that membrane's off, we can get that rub in much easier, of course.
Yeah.
And that's where all that flavor is going to come from. Now, once we've got this going, we want to set the grill or the smoker, whichever you're working with, up for 300 degrees. You could also do this in the oven if you don't have a grill or smoker for Memorial Day. And once we get that going, we're going to be cooking these for about 2.5 to 3 hours. So we'll get these loaded up. If you have your smoker, that's perfect. If it's a grill, you want to set it up for indirect heat, and we'll load these into the grill or smoker, and then we'll get them moving. And of course, we've got a set here that just came off the grill. Wait till you smell these. Look at this.
Smell-o-vision. I wish we had it for you, my friend.
Doesn't that look fantastic?
It does.
And you can tell these are starting to get done because you can see these bones really clearly starting to pull back away from that time. It's funny, they smell great, don't they?
Yes.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna put on some of this sweet and spicy Asian barbecue sauce. I love this sauce because it brings in some of that flavors of Southeast Asia. It's a little bit different than your traditional barbecue, kind of mixing a little bit of Tennessee and a little bit of Asia. So we'll just go and apply this. This isn't terribly spicy, and so depending on your spice level, you can apply as much or as little as you want.
And as you do this, let's talk about the classes because you've got Brisket U, but Rib U is coming part of this.
That's exactly right. We're going to be launching our ribs class here in Tennessee in June 25th and 26th. We'll be in both Nashville and Murfreesboro. And we started this class for people that wanted to learn to make better ribs in their own backyard. I think everybody thinks they can cook good ribs, but there's always something to learn. And we cover beef ribs, pork ribs, and lamb ribs, which is really interesting.
How many people have gone through Brisket U?
About 30,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Been doing this for about 6 years, and in the fall, you'll be adding some seafood?
That's right. So we have all kinds of different grilling classes. Seafood's coming this fall. Very exciting. So for the non-meat eaters, that's a great class.
Fantastic. Here's the final product right there. Boy, it looks good. You'll find this recipe online in the Talk of the Town section at newschannel5.com. And there's also a link to find out more about the grilling classes and a Father's Day gift box at Brisket U. Thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely.